Just hours before the ceremony, when everything was perfectly arranged and hundreds of elite guests had already arrived, the CEO made a decision no one saw coming. The venue was glowing with luxury, cameras were ready, and the media was calling it the wedding of the year. But behind the elegant smile and designer dress, she was fighting a silent, emotional storm. Standing alone in the bridal room, she realized she was about to commit to a life built on expectation, pressure, and image, not love. For years, she had lived by logic, reputation, and corporate alliances. The marriage made sense on paper: powerful families, strong business ties, and social approval. But in her heart, something felt deeply wrong. Every time she imagined saying "I do," she felt emptiness instead of joy. The truth became impossible to ignore, and she wasn't just nervous. She was being dishonest with herself. Moments before, walking down the aisle, she stopped everything. Advisors panicked. Family members protested. Her fiancé demanded an explanation. But her voice, though trembling, was firm. She refused to fake a lifetime promise. She admitted that marrying without love would be cruel, not only to herself, but to him as well. The room fell into stunned silence as the reality sank in. The cancellation sent shockwaves through the guests and the press. Some called it reckless. Others called it brave. But for the first time in years, she felt a strange sense of relief. She chose emotional truth over social perfection. That single decision didn't just stop a wedding. It marked the moment she finally chose authenticity over appearance, even if it meant facing judgment, scandal, and uncertainty ahead. While the city buzzed with rumors about the canceled wedding, the CEO didn't return to her penthouse or call her PR team to control the narrative. Instead, she gave a quiet instruction to her driver that surprised everyone: take her to the single dad's neighborhood. It wasn't a place she was expected to be seen, far from the polished towers and executive boardroom she ruled. Yet, in that moment, it was the only destination that felt right. During the drive, her composure began to crack. The weight of her decision, the public fallout, and the uncertainty of what she would say pressed heavily on her chest. But one thought kept repeating: he deserved the truth. Unlike the people around her who valued status and strategy, he had always spoken to her with simple honesty. With him, she never felt like a title, just a person. When she reached his modest home, she hesitated at the door. The normal sounds of everyday life, distant traffic, children playing, a television somewhere inside, felt grounding. This world was real, unfiltered, and warm. She knocked softly, not as a CEO, but as a woman carrying a vulnerable heart. When he opened the door, surprise filled his face. He hadn't expected her, especially not today of all days. She stood there without cameras, without security drama, without authority, just emotion. Her eyes were tired, slightly red, and searching for reassurance. By choosing to come to him instead of hiding from the world, she revealed something deeper than words. He was her place of emotional safety. This visit wasn't impulsive, it was instinctive. In her most defining moment, she didn't run toward power or protection. She ran toward the one person who made her feel understood. Standing at his doorstep, the CEO finally let her carefully controlled facade crumble. The polished image, the confident tone, the composed exterior, all of it faded in an instant. Tears welled in her eyes, tracing lines she had spent years keeping hidden. In that raw, unguarded moment, she wasn't a powerful executive or a public figure. She was just a woman who had discovered the truth about her own heart. Her voice trembled as she began to speak, halting at first, struggling to put feelings into words she had avoided for so long. I couldn't do it, she whispered, almost to herself before meeting his eyes. I couldn't pretend to love someone who isn't you. Not now, not ever. Each word carried the weight of months, maybe years, of quiet longing and unspoken connection. She confessed that no matter how much she tried to follow logic or social expectations, her heart had always belonged elsewhere. He stood there in stunned silence, unsure whether to speak, to comfort her, or to step back. But she needed him to understand the depth of what she felt. Everything I've done, every choice I've made, it's always been shaped by fear. Fear of judgment, fear of losing control. But with you, it's different. I feel alive, honest, and truly seen. You've changed me without even trying, and I can't go back to pretending. I can't hide this anymore. Her confession was more than words. It was a release. Sobs escaped freely, unrestrained, carrying relief, regret, and hope all at once. In that moment, the single dad realized the magnitude of their connection. This was no fleeting attraction, no impulsive whim. It was a life-altering truth, the kind that rewrites priorities, reshapes futures, and ignites the possibility of love neither of them had expected but both had secretly longed for.